let's make a soccer ball sculpture for Do Good KC. My ball, the little butt plug, the little butt plug fell out, and so I can't. See, it's fully open. I think there might be another hole in it somewhere, so gotta figure out how to get this sucker aired up. In the meantime, while I brainstorm how to fill up my cheap ass ball, I want to do a sculpture inspired by the Artemis 2 mission that just happened because it's fucking amazing and I feel like we're not talking about it enough, and all of it makes me want to cry. It's so beautiful and it's so amazing. So I did my little sketch. This is kind of what I want to do. I want to like cast my hand like we're reaching for the stars, we're reaching for the moon, because that's what we're doing. We're just like, we're reaching for the moon. I want to paint the hand the same blue as the astronauts' blue suits. I want to have patches that they're wearing. So I have the NASA patch, the Artemis 2 patch, a American flag and a Canadian flag, and then something that Mr. Glover said that I just thought was beautiful and I feel like encapsulates the entire mission and what I think the world needs to hear at the moment, because there's some shitty shit going on. They were looking down on Earth. He said, "You look amazing, you look beautiful, no matter where you're from or what you look like, we're all one people." And I feel like that is just the whole meaning of this entire mission. Obviously there's a lot of science going on. They're planning to build on the moon, but that statement seems to encapsulate it for me. So I want to have the moon, and I want to have the two craters that they labeled, Carol and Integrity. And then I want to put, I'm thinking maybe like in wire somehow, like their whole flight path. So I want to put the Earth off in the distance, and then this wire will be what's holding that out there. But this will be the flight path of Artemis 2. And then maybe have Artemis, and maybe instead of right here, it's over here to just help balance out the whole thing so far. But this is the plan. So this as the moon. And then I still want to be able to make sure that it looks like a soccer ball and the moon, so you can't really tell. But I want to paint this. Whoops. I want to paint this like the color of the moon, and then probably have these bad boys slightly darker. It might do it for me. But another thing is this pleather texture that I need to figure out. So I think I need to get this sucker filled up. And then sand it? Or just see if like maybe I gesso it, maybe that will help. And then I want to like sponge texture it and spackle it and get some craters on here. So let's see, I have a while. Today is April 11th and I have to have this back by May 18th, so I have over a month to do it. So that feels like plenty of time. So let's see if I can do it. Well, I can do it. Let's just see how it looks, because you know sketches never turn out how the final product does. So let's see. Plan A on how to get this thing aired up because its butt plug fell out. So I taped up its hole, and I'm gonna stab another little hole, a little tiny hole, so I can insert the needle elsewhere, and hopefully it works. I might have to reach out. I really want to be able to just make this soccer ball work. I might have to reach out because the balls are supplied. I think I got us a little hole. Is it in? Nope. I'm just gonna keep it close to the butt. Gosh. My original idea was gonna require a lot more slicing and dicing. So, okay. Oh, got us a hole now. Okay. Needles in. Oh, it was. God damn it. There we go. Needles in. Let's see if it pumps up.
10 years later.
Okay, this is not working. I could cut a little open and just stuff it. I could stuff it. I could stuff it. I'm gonna try. We're gonna try to stuff it. I think I have, yeah. I have 1,000,000-year-old construction paper. Future Sam here. Why didn't you just ask for a new ball? I don't know. You should have asked for a new ball. Why didn't you ask for a new ball, Past Sam? I don't know. Let's see. Let's try it and let's see. Okay. Cutting just a slice and let's see. They did say we're not allowed to cut them, but also then there wasn't any. The inside of a soccer ball feels really weird. There was no like stipulations given or anything, and you know there's a black rubber bag. Oh, okay, so this must be what actually gets filled. I just maybe stuff around it. What was I talking about? Oh, when I picked up this soccer ball, I was the one asking like, what's the stipulations? And they're like, well, you can't cut it open, which, what I was saying earlier, my original idea was to like make this look dirty as shit and like slice it open and sculpt like visceral insides in it. It's for charity. And one of the charities is for children, so they were like, actually I didn't tell them that idea, but I figured they would be like, so. You know what? I'm going full slice mode. Let's just make it easy on me. I've already walked away too much. We just need it to be the shape of a ball. You just need it to be the shape of a ball, so I'm going to keep on stuffing this. Putting my secrets in here. And, let's see if it works.
10 years later.
Honestly, I think it's not working. Though, I'm trying to, like, make sure I'm filling out because there's, like, these dents here. And I don't want to cut too much, but I'm trying to like shove this stuff in here. And I'm getting this weird seam from it being like folded and inverted. But I'm going to keep on stuffing. But I think the old noggin might be firing away. So I'm going to keep on stuffing. Drum roll, please. Oh, don't look, it's flat. It kind of looks like a ball. It kind of looks like a ball. So now I'm going to glue its flap down and call it good. It's not super heavy.
As big as
Forgive the remix?
Not super heavy. Filled it with construction paper that I needed an excuse to get rid of. So, I thought about like filling it with my trash, but that felt like a slight of some sort. And I just was like, what if on the offhand, someone somewhere way down the road, you know, finds this, for some reason cuts it open and is like, why is there trash in here? I did recycle the bag that it came in and the bag that this useless piece of crap came in and put it in here too. So I feel like I might write my name somewhere and put a little message in here, just because I can. And then I'm gonna sew its flap down, or not sew it. Not sew it. This part is gonna be what sits in the hand. That's for sure. That's for sure. wrote my note like a little gremlin for some reason. I had a whole sheet of paper and I said, no, I'm not ready like this. Anyways, this is going to be painted. This is the same Victor Glover quote that's going to be painted on the hand, but it's so true that I want the essence of the message to be imbued into the ball. And also I wrote my name, ARTbySAMM. So we're putting this in there. The vision of my next action was me crumpling this up, but I'm not going to crumple it. I'm going to fold it nicely. We're going to give it a little kiss. I'm going to like imbue the hope for humanity in this little fucking letter. I'm going to shove it in this ball's hole and accidentally crumple it up a little bit. And then I'm going to sew it shut. So, there we go. Here's the ball. I spray painted it without, you know, I don't think I filmed it, but it turns out pretty cool. And you can still tell it's a soccer ball. Still gotta do its butt, so I'm gonna go ahead and do that. But I just had this in my basement and it was the perfect color. So, maybe. There we go. So I'm gonna set it on this bad boy, let it dry for a little bit, and then we'll texture it. Let's cast our hand like this. My soccer ball is in the garage. It's storming crazy, and I practiced the grip, but we're just gonna make the ball work. It's stuff with paper after all, so it should be pretty malleable. Let's get to it. Alginate powder in the bowl. Four rings. One. I'm supposed to mix this, and then I'm supposed to mix. Avoid using warm water. One of my cups was definitely warm water on accident. Oh, I might have fucked up. We'll see. To prevent mixture setting quickly, avoid using warm water. Oh. I think it's set too quickly because I used warm water. So we're gonna roll up our sleeves, and then we're gonna put our hand in here after. We have to hold it for 6 to 8 minutes. So I'm gonna stir this, and then we're gonna stick our little hand in here. Keep this pose. This looking a little chunky. It looks like gravy, but we're gonna try. So here we go. Like this, I think. Oh, I might have fucked up. Oh, I think I fucked up. Oh shit, I think I fucked up. I think it's set too quickly because I used warm water. Also, my hand is, shit. Ah! Fuck. This is not right. Oh no! Fiddlesticks. I soiled that one. I'm gonna have to buy some more. I'm gonna keep the plaster powder that it came with just in case, but I threw everything else away. And I have to order more, so. Try again later, I guess. Got another one. It's already looking way better than it was yesterday. It's supposed to be pink. Put the business. So let me get this stirred up. And then we'll cast our hand. I think the more I try not to move my hand, the more I want to move it. I'm feeling like my fingers are hitting the bottom of the thing, but I think it's just hardening on my hand. So a couple more minutes to go. Seems firm, but I want to wait just a little longer. I don't know if it'll turn all white, but I just want to not ruin it this time, so we'll see. Now I gotta mix the plaster. I gotta go pretty quick. Oh, I hope I picked a big enough bowl. spot set for 3 hours. We can take it out and then we let it dry overnight. Let's unmold this for the bad boy. Oh my god. She goopy. Sorry, demolding my hand.
Degloving your hands?
Degloving my hands. Turned out sick. Looking good. Looking a little lumpy. We don't like the lumps, but we'll scrape them off after we let this bad boy dry for 24 hours. Then we'll do that tomorrow. Must express it now is the pose of my hand. I didn't keep these two fingers back far enough, so I'm a bit concerned about the grip. I'm a little concerned about that, but we'll figure that out tomorrow. Good morning. It's the next day. This thing is all dry. I started sanding around the edge, but I'm just going to finish sanding it and then try to get all these warts off. So that's the next step. Okay, that didn't take super long. I didn't get super... I'm mostly worried about the fingers because I think this part is... I'm gonna have the ball in here. And I sanded off my fingertips because a stranger will be buying this and that's pretty detailed. So, notes so far. I totally imagined my drawing has a lot more wrist. I'll put it here for remembrance. But my drawing has a lot more wrist. Arm, if you will. So, I'm not sure what I'm going to do there. If I want to just... I don't think the back of the hand has plenty of room for the, 3 patches I want to do and the quote. So, we'll see. But let's try and get the soccer ball. It's in the other room. I gotta go grab it. But let's try and start seeing how that's gonna work. As I was worried about, I said it. Let's see how malleable this is, because reminder, this is filled with paper. It does have tape down here holding its flap together, but shoot, should I take the tape off? I think I'm gonna have to squeeze it. Oh, I don't know, unless I just... could just balance it somehow like this, because the whole goal is that we're reaching for the moon. So this might be kind of cool. I mean, like this. This might be kind of cool. Reaching for the moon. You know, actually, the lack of arm might be a good thing, because this actually feels pretty sturdy. She said sturdy and it fell off. It feels sturdy nonetheless, because if there was an arm, it might be weirdly balanced. It might work. I don't know. But I didn't hate the way it looked. So, I think I'm gonna stick with my plan of painting this blue. It still has to do with the mission, and it's what the vision is. So, we're gonna paint this bad boy blue now. to do. I'm still thinking about the moon portion, but I have this little earth, and I think it's the perfect size, but it's not the right colors, and it also has flight paths and everything, and I don't know, it's meant to be small, and it could be lazy and just leave it like this, but I don't think I'm going to. I'm going to paint it so the colors match, and then I'm just going to kind of use this as a loose guideline, I guess. So I'm going to paint it. I think I'll paint it the same blue as the hand and the green. Got this bad boy drying, and got a couple coats on it. Got this bad boy couple coated. That blue is glowing. And then I printed out these little patches. They're just little stickers. I found actual patches on Etsy and then printed them out because I wanted them to try. I wanted them to look embroidered. Ideally, I would love to get actual patches, but it's a little pricey, and for this being a project I'm not actually going to make any money on, I want it to look cool, but I'm also trying to ball on a budget when I've already put money into it. So I think these will be good. Now, once this dries, I'll try to arrange them. These are stickers, which I'm hoping will like help me stick them on, and then I can maybe Mod Podge them on. But with the size, that was another thing, was like actual patches. I can't get them quite this small. I printed out a couple sizes of patches, but I think going with the flags at this size and these two patches at this size, and then maybe like a quote that I wanted, mind this bottom one, but the quote that I wanted, I would love to handwrite it on the hand in white, but I'm nervous I'm gonna mess it up with not the right handwriting. So I picked a font that looks like NASA font, sort of, not really, kind of. It's giving space. But then I'll try and then I can kind of mess around with it a little bit, obviously in different sizes. And I have one with like a red drop shadow just to see what it's like. I tried to match the blue background. I'm gonna like die cut around it, but we'll mess with that once the hand is a little more dry. So in the meantime, while the hand is drying, we're gonna do some ball stuff. Anyways, I super glued this instead of taping it, so I super glued it and then spray painted. I do have a little bit of peeling happening here, which I was worried about with the latex material of the ball, but that is the goal of the spray paint, is mostly to act as a base. Now, I was told unofficially that this has to still sort of look like a soccer ball. So I'm trying to think if I want to keep the dark spaces. I'm trying to think how I want to do that, but in the meantime, I have this coarse texture gel that I don't know if you can see, it's kind of dried here, but my camera has a hard time focusing. Anyways, it looks like sand. It looks like sand, so I have that, and I also have just general joint compound that usually you fill holes in the wall with. But I'm gonna try to cover majority of the ball with coarse texture and then use the joint compound to sort of make small craters. I mostly want the 2 craters that they named specifically on the Artemis trip, on the Artemis mission, but I'm sure that there's other craters all over the moon. So let's see. Well, I'm gonna look at pictures of the moon. I'm gonna try my damnedest, but the main goal is to get this bad boy covered in this, and maybe some craters with this. I'm gonna, I think probably with just like a black marker, try to look at photos of the moon and like loosely map out where I want the craters, because I'll probably not put sand texture where I have those craters so I can better mold with this. I'm winging it as I go, and I think that might work. Okay, so upon further investigation, pretty sure that Carol and Integrity craters are really tiny. So I think what I'll probably do is I'll just do the whole thing. And these, ideally, like when the moon's on the hand and I have the earth over here, I'm gonna have these facing away from it, because that's the whole thing, is that there are craters on the back of the moon that we've never seen before. And I'm gonna have like the little shuttle somewhere, wherever they are, somewhere around where these are. So anyways, I'm just gonna cover the whole thing with sand, and I might just do like a circle thing, like circle them to call them out specifically, and I'll probably just call these two out because these were the two specific to this mission. So kind of what I got going on so far. Made some actual little craters, and then was like tapping my finger. I feel like it made these natural little valleys and like tinier little craters. It's kind of like the main image I'm going off of. So I'm thinking we'll give it texture, and then we'll color it a little more prominently. And I think the coloring is where I'm gonna keep the soccer ball going. I'll just make these areas darker, but so far I like it. Alright, I think it's looking pretty moony. I tried to keep the darker squares ever so slightly darker. Okay, I feel like my moon is looking pretty moony, pretty soccer ball-y. I actually like it. I think I want to call it good. Got my little guys on my ham, and now I need to get this on here somehow. So I gotta think about that. And then once we get this secured to the hand, then we can start thinking about wrapping the wire and getting the earth suspended. Okay, got the ball in the hand, and now I'm like a little, woo! Alright, well, never mind. I was gonna say is I got the hand in the ball, but I'm pretty sure me super gluing it melted through the ball. So I gotta figure that out. I really wanted it to dry so I could turn this whole thing over and really get it glued to the hand. And I'm also nervous that I have now a hand touching the soccer ball, because you don't use your hands in football. So that was definitely a choice. But anyways, here we are so far. Hopefully it dries a little from me super gluing that this time, and then I'll figure something else out. A little more permanent. We'll see. Super glue doesn't work, and I broke it. And it has stuff all over it, so I'm gonna try to fix it. Now I'm on the earth. I'm gonna add some little clouds. So let's do that. Okie dokie. Finally got this bad boy attached and it feels pretty sturdy. I found this wire. So what I think I'm gonna have to do is maybe get some small hooks that I can like screw into the ball that this can just sort of sit in, maybe, because I don't want it necessarily touching the moon. I wouldn't mind it hovering ever so slightly just around it. So it would be like this. This is supposed to be a loose, loosely based off of the trajectory that the Artemis 2 took. Now, obviously, the most important bit is going around the back of the moon. I wanted originally the entire route. Not that I can't do that, but also might as well have, you know, an artist's rendition. I don't know if that sounds lazy or not. I just think it will look nice and tasteful if I don't have all that wire there. And I think this still loosely is close enough to the route. So this would be like before they get back to Earth. So they started here, they slung around the Earth, they flew around the moon, and then they like, sorry, I guess it starts like this, where they came out and they came this way and they went around the moon, then they go back and they like swivel around Earth. So I guess it's supposed to be like this. And now I just need to figure out how to attach it to the moon. Okay, so I had this wire and I was trying to get it on here, and this just wasn't what I was going for. So I bought more wire. I like more wire. I don't know why I said it like that. A lot more wire. Let's just do that. And I folded it into my original plan, the flight path of Artemis 2. So the goal, and I'm not sure, I just don't know how this is gonna work. I'm winging it. So you can't see. I gotta somehow get this on here, and it's a little bit heavy. So there's that. So I bought these, and I haven't even, we're gonna find out together if this notch fits this. Perfect. Eee! Okay, something's working out. But this is a real concern, how it's pretty top heavy, and I can imagine that even with having all of these, which I'm impressed that this is so perfect. That's amazing. Something good is happening. I gotta go hammer this. This bit is a little too wiggly for my liking, so I'm gonna go hammer it. It's hammer time, baby. You know, I've never played Skyrim, but I imagine it's a lot of this. Just cracked my phone, and that's okay. Worth it. Why did I do it like that? I hope that's just the cover. Anyways, I'm trying to get this a little more rounded, though. Not looking too shabby. I can't believe I just broke my phone! For a volunteer art project that I put a lot of money in. Anyways, this is feeling pretty good. My phone doesn't have a screen cover on it, so I broke my actual screen trying to be an art vlogger. So anyways, this is what I got, and I'm feeling pretty alright about it. So here's what I'm gonna do. I'm going to get these things stabbed into the ball, which honestly, it was a blessing in disguise having to stuff this and not having to blow it up, because one, now it's never going to deflate. I know it has this weird seam around it, but whatever. Now it's never going to deflate, and I can stab it with multiple holes and not have to worry about messing up or anything. I'm going to try to get this around this, sitting in those things, and see how sturdy this is. So, she holds. I only have 3 of these in. And I'm thinking I need to glue them down to make them sturdier because I like where they are. And gently, so gently. This one over here is taking a lot of weight, but even without supporting it, this is staying up and feeling steady. Struggle busing a little bit, and she needs some help. She's looking like a Frankenstein. I'm feeling weird, but we're gonna let her vibe. Okay, we're gonna let her chill. We're gonna let her cook. We're gonna let that E6000 do its thing. I'm not sure. I need to bend this upward more, but I need this to dry. And then, I don't know. Okay. I took those things off because I feared it was looking Frankenstein-y, and I had my partner come down and he said it was looking Frankenstein-y. And so I took them off, and I have to fix the spots where I put the Frankenstein bolts. And I spent a lot of money on this wire, and I don't know if I'm going to use it. Art is hard. Art's hard, and I haven't made a project like this in a long time. So, I don't have any more of the sand stuff, so I'm going to use plaster to do my texture and fix those spots. And maybe we're just gonna have it be like this. And maybe we're just gonna have it be like this, and maybe I'll have a little stick or something, like just a little piece of wire that has the earth like out here. Okay, so I think that I did get a little crazy. So I got this all fixed up, got it all patched, got it all repainted, went ahead and got the 2 craters called out here, and I glued in little push pins and a little cardboard sign. I didn't paint the back of the signs. I wonder if I should do that. But I'm feeling much better about this. I'm having a little anxiety about, why is there a hand? It's a soccer ball. Relax. Relax. I still have yet to write the text that I want, and I really want to write that, but I don't have a white pen, and I can't find my Posca markers, even though I am worried those would be too fat anyways. I do have a silver Sharpie, so mayhaps I'll write it in silver. Earth Lollipop. I had to fill in, so it did have existing holes because it came like this, but this is how it is compared to the moon. It's, you know, oriented this way. So I didn't want to have a sideways earth, so I filled in the holes. I'm gonna paint over them, and then I glued in this bad boy, and I'm just gonna kind of stab it in there. I'm trying to think, like, I feel like the earth might technically be down here because, like, this is how the moon is, but I don't, just like composition wise, this feels a little odd, so I might just kind of put it right about here, and I'll stab it inwards about yay far, I think, and I'll glue it. It definitely changed a lot from my sketch, but that's okay. That happens with art, and that's one thing you have to do, is go with the flow. Stay tuned for the final producto. Okay, she's all done. I think she's super cute. Definitely not what I planned to do, but I think that it's a happy accident for a free little, you know, silent auction art. Not too shabby. So I'm here drinking my coffee with my kitty on my lap, listening to jazz. It's a good Saturday so far. I turned in my sculpture yesterday, and I was trying to record it, but my hands were full with my sculpture, and I didn't want to drop it because I would fucking suck going to deliver it, and then I drop it in the doorway. That'd be crazy. But as I'm going to return it, I'm feeling like, hang on, I feel like the jazz is loud. I'm feeling like it's a high school diorama, and I was just feeling strange about it. But when I walked in, I was the first person to turn in my sculpture, and they said that they had like 40 artists in total, which is a good amount. I was excited to see what people brought, but of course I was the first one to return it, so still have a while to see what other people did. But the girls that were working had such a good reaction to what I made that it made me feel better about it, because I was just like, we are our own worst critics, aren't we? But they had such a good reaction about it, and they could tell what it was, and they just seemed really excited, so it was cool. Hi! Okay, so it has been a month since I finished the sculpture, since I turned it in, and Do Good KC has finally gotten all of their sculptures back, and they have gotten their store display up and displayed. So I went to check it out the other day. Here's a photo of me with my sculpture, and yeah, a lot of the other sculptures that are there are so freaking sweet. Dude, seriously, if you're in Kansas City, go by Do Good KC and check out everyone's work. This was volunteer work, so all the artists did it just for free, and I believe they'll be part of a silent auction for 2 different charities. One I know is Wayside Waifs, and the other, I don't remember exactly what it was, but I'll put it below. And you can check out Do Good KC's Instagram page to see all of the sculptures that are on display in their window if you aren't in Kansas City and want to go check it out. But yeah, this was a super fun experience. At the end of the day, I'm happy with my project. Could it be better? 100%. But I think it's fun. I think it's relevant. You know, I had an idea and I ran with it, and that's what matters. So if you watched this whole video, thank you for joining me on my journey, and hopefully it gave you some insight into what goes on in an artist's mind during a project, or at least my mind, because this was a freaking roller coaster. But anyways, I appreciate you for watching, and let me know what you think of the sculpture, or go check out the shop and check out everyone's art, because I know everyone worked really hard. You can tell that people put their, I'm not gonna say it. I'm not going to say what I was going to say. People worked hard, and I'm going to leave it at that. Anyways, I'll see you next time. Bye!
Oh, can't get it. Well, don't get me, you little scoot.